Hello. The U.S. war against Iran took another set of twists over the weekend. The face-to-face negotiations in Pakistan, featuring Vice President J.D. Vance in the lead, talking with Iran's representatives for a total of around 21 hours. Now, remember something. One of the major goals of the discussions was to get the Strait of Hormuz opened again for oil tankers and natural gas-carrying vessels. However, since Iran's team was not willing to say their country would stop trying to acquire or build a nuclear weapon, the president decided to push just the opposite of the Strait goal. On the Fox Business Network's Sunday Morning Futures with Maria Bartiromo, Mr. Trump talking about his decision to have American naval vessels prevent large ships from going into or leaving the Strait.
Well, we're going to be blockading. It'll take a little while, but it'll be effective pretty soon. And we had meetings yesterday. They, as you said, lasted 21 hours. That was a long meeting. We had some very, very good representatives, as you know, J.D. and Steve and Jared. So we were well represented, but we didn't get there on the important issue. They want to have nuclear weapons. They're not going to have nuclear weapons. I've been saying that for 30 years. I would never allow that to happen before I was in politics. And that country will not have nuclear weapons. Most countries shouldn't be allowed to have, but that country will not have nuclear weapons.
That blockade could have already started by the time you're watching this. The president later talked about the possibility a lack of a settlement with Iran could mean oil and gas prices in the United States will be even higher than they are now. And that is not remotely what Republican candidates want the American people to hear going into the midterm elections. The Democrats believe they will take control of the House already, but have some hope of winning a Senate majority as well. Now, the president said, let me quote, "It could be the same or a little higher in November," end quote. The Strait control is the newest twist. On CBS's Face the Nation, Senator Mark Warner,
"No American should forget this is a war of choice chosen by the president. And if we just quickly look at the goals, regime change, frankly, the new leadership is more radical. Getting the enriched uranium out would require 10,000 troops minimum."
And then there was Hungary, dropped right into the middle of Sunday. Viktor Orban, the Hungarian prime minister, who considers himself a Trump-like figure, is going to lose his majority there. The Hungarians voted to have the opposition party take control. Trump endorsed Orban, and last week, Vice President Vance flew to Hungary to appear with Orban as a sign of the Trump endorsement in 2 days of campaigning there. Though his country is part of the alliance, Orban has done whatever he can to prevent NATO from helping Ukraine and considers Russia's Vladimir Putin a good friend. But unlike Trump, Orban accepted his defeat in the election and urged his countrymen and women to support the opposition. It should be no surprise that European Union Commission President Ursula von der Leyen welcomed the results, quote, "as Hungary reclaims its path," end quote. And that's why, when the president is looking to force the opening of the Strait of Hormuz, it's pretty much going to be the president of the United States going it alone, with perhaps some air help from Israel. With ear on the White House, I'm Bob Costantini.